Hello folks and welcome back to Shogun Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 3 of my 1530 campaign where I'm playing as Clan Shimazu. And it feels good to be bouncing back and forth between these 3 campaigns. That is the main campaign where I'm playing as the Byzantines in Medieval Total War, and then the Vikings invasion campaign, and then this one here, back in Shogun. It feels really cool having these 3 different experiences. And also interacting with groups of people that, you know, just maybe like watching one campaign but not the other campaigns. It's also kind of fun, you know, seeing y'all talk about these games that you're passionate about and like seeing again on YouTube or just in general. So yeah, this is pretty exciting for me. I'm having a blast with this. I really am. I'm really glad that I started this channel all those years ago. This has been really fun for me. So on with this campaign. I'm just about to finish kicking the Imagawa clan off of Hizen. There are just 5 men left in this archer unit here in this castle, and I'm just gonna auto-resolve that siege. Yes, I want to end that because I want Hizen, because Hizen, it does come with this improved farmland. Hopefully I keep that. I think I will keep the port. I feel like ports don't get destroyed very often, knock on wood. I hope that that remains true, because currently Hizen is making over 600, almost 700 Koku off of the farmland and that port. So that's going to be a nice jump for me. Right now I'm making 1200, which is not bad. And that's not including the fact that I've already sent my emissary as a preliminary gesture to try to find the Imagawa daimyo and say, hey, let's be friends again so we can start making money again. And with that being said, I also noticed that I can't remember who the Takeda clan was fighting that caused me to have to lose my alliance with the Takeda clan, but they are no longer at war with them. Whether that was the Yasugi or the Hojo, I can't quite remember. But there has been a ceasefire called between those 2 factions, and it's time for me to talk to the Takeda clan as well to try to get that alliance back going again. Because, yeah, with the Imagawa and the Takeda back in the fold, that would be an extra 500 Koku for me, in addition to the, money I'm getting off of Hizen. So that could be a good little boost. Now, after taking Hizen, it's going to be a question of how quickly I'm able to take the remaining 3 provinces here. They're all held by rebels here in Kyushu, and it's interesting because when I played my very first single turn of this campaign as a practice campaign, and when I took Bungo on turn 1, I feel like I remember seeing a pretty sizable force come from EO to take me out and just kind of push me back. And I'm kind of wary of that similar thing happening. And I kind of want to send either my emissary or maybe even one of my shinobi out to EO to get eyes on that province. I'm not quite there yet. I do want to send an extra shinobi up to Hizen just to make sure that with 2 shinobi, possibly I'm going to be okay to attack Shikuzen right away. I'm hoping that is the case. I don't want to wait around too long here. My daimyo's army is well strong enough to take out this rebel army. In fact, I would expect them to retreat from this. My rebel's army is a little bit banged up, but these are my veterans. These are my only 3 units of Yari Samurai that I have. The rest of my spearmen are all Ashigaru, and I intend to keep it that way for quite a while, because the killing power of my army currently resides in my archers, and I just did get the Legendary Swordsman events. Now I can finally build the Sword Dojo. So yeah, the Sword Dojo can be founded only when a samurai achieves a Legendary Swordsman status, usually after many battles. The school trains samurai in the way of the sword, particularly the long 2-handed sword called the Nodachi. Nodachi troops are very offensive but lightly armored, and yes, give me some of that. 500 Koku, 4 seasons. Let's get it done. And then I will be able to train my Nodachi Samurai with that +1 honor bonus from being trained here in Satsuma. So that's going to be very nice. Let's bring up this Ashigaru, and then, yeah, you can go up to Shikugo. And these forces are going to be pretty, perfectly balanced now. 2 archers, 2 Ashigaru. This force is just going to be led by my son, Shimazu Yoshimoto, I believe. Yeah, Yoshimoto, 3-star general. He has yet to get into some real action here, and I might have him lead the attack on Bungo. But before I attack Bungo, as I was mentioning before, I do want to take Shikuzen first, just to make sure that these rebels don't present any threat to Shikugo. Just to, you know, take things step by step. And then, yeah, I reckon I could just attack Bungo with all 3 armies from Hyugo, Higo, and Shikugo. And that would be a pretty sizable force. So if there would be a counterattack from Io, or perhaps even Buzin, they should be able to handle that, would be my assumption. And my Daimyo's army, it is, don't get me wrong, it is looking pretty banged up, but hopefully it can also just help finish conquering Kyushu before I need to send these units back to Satsuma to get retrained. Because I'm not trying to spend forever doing this, you know. I want to eventually get going here. And speaking of which, have I trained? Yeah, okay, so I did build the port here in Satsuma. That's good. I'm glad I got one port going here in Satsuma. And that's going to be the goal in everywhere else. You know, get ports going everywhere else just for that additional extra cash. And that will help out in the long run. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this turn. I just want to train up one more Ashigaru and then, yeah, keep the Shinobi going. So it's just going to be those 2 things, that Sword Dojo, and I think that's going to be it. I do have 3 more sons on the way, so other than my one who's of age, I also have Shimazu Yoshihisa, Shimazu Yoshihiro, and Shimazu Norihisa as well. All of them are pretty young, but I believe if these are, you know, exactly the same as they are during the Sengoku Jedi campaign, which I'd assume they are because it starts in the same year, I believe, based on memory, that Yoshihisa and Yoshihiro are both 4-star generals, and then I think Norihisa is a 3-star general. So that's all very solid, isn't it? You know? All very solid stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting those guys of age so they can help serve me, fight in my armies. But until then, we're still, you know, let's get this empire built up a bit before they become of age. As I mentioned before, I just want to auto-resolve this castle assault. There's only 5 guys. Don't worry. I'll show you all some castle fights. They're not super interesting in this game, but I'll do my due diligence. As a commentator, I like the little head viewing ceremony for the victory scene. It's kind of iconic, isn't it? And I only lost 1 man. Hopefully it wasn't my daimyo. That'd just be so shitty. Yeah, speaking of which, I did lose my 2-star general that was leading one of these Yari Cav units. And that always is a shame. I had no choice. I had to use him. I wanted Yari Cav for this fight. And yeah, it sucks. See, that's the thing. Like, that's why I don't want to use my heir in battle unless he's leading that battle, because then I know for sure, you know, I can keep him safe, you know. And in this case, this 2-star general, he's been with me from the beginning. Shone Tsukamoto. He won't be leading this attack in Bungo, though, unfortunately, and that's going to be another thing, right? This attack on Bungo will be led by my heir, and not Shone Tsukamoto, so hopefully I don't get him killed, because he's just going to look like a regular archer unit to me. And same with this guy, you know, Koteka Nagachika, 1-star general, still valuable. Still valuable. It is strange that my profit hasn't gone up. I'm wondering if it's not registering my Heisen income yet. If this is just for last year, I'm not really sure. This is kind of strange. Because I was able to keep the improved farmland as well as the port, so Heisen should be making... It says I'm making 566 koku off of this, so... Yeah, maybe that's just not being registered yet. Also, in the category of things not being registered yet is the ceasefire, and that seems to be something very similar in Medieval as well, where it takes like that extra turn to really register that ceasefire, so I don't have to wait for that though. Let's just keep looking, let's, you know, find that Imagawa Daimyo. In fact, what I can do is I can take a peek into this throne room, and I know this isn't going to do you a great service because this is hard to see, but I can make sure. So they still have Mikawa, Totome, Saruga, and Shinano. So that's honestly kind of a decent little base for the Imagawa. So I'll check Saruga. If the daimyo's not here, he's probably going to be in Shinano. And hopefully we can get that, well, you know, alliance by then. Let's bring up the taxes to punitive, and should I attack? See, I don't... I don't want to attack on the year that I just bumped the taxes up to punitive. You know, that's another thing with this game when compared to Medieval, is that Medieval, it does a lot better at showing the variances of population loyalty depending on how you move your troops around. So if you do this, it'll show you the change. You know, it's 213%, but like that's with him there. It doesn't show it going down when he leaves. Medieval, it will. If you move your stacks, you don't have to end the turn. You can just move a stack and be like, can I afford that? You can say, nope, I can't. I need to leave some troops back. And it's a really nice intuitive system that helps you make some decisions. Whereas with Shogun, you have to kind of guess at these sort of things. And my guess is that despite bringing up 2 Shinobi, and that's actually one nice thing about Shogun going back and forth here, is that the effects for Shinobi are cumulative in Shogun. So having more Shinobi in a province increases the population loyalty by more. In Medieval, that's not how that works. It's just the spy that has the highest valor is the one that's going to count for raising that province's loyalty or lowering it in an enemy province. As a similar thing goes, more Shinobi means that you can lower the loyalty to an enemy province faster, you know, more. And Medieval doesn't work that way. It's just the single spy with the highest valor. And yeah, the good news is that I can just kind of pump Shinobi into Heizen, and I can probably be ready to go next turn. Would be more of a guaranteed thing. But probably not just the turn after I've taken the castle, and probably not the turn that I'm intending to tax the ever-living shit out of these poor peasants who've just had to kind of just endure this change of hands between 2 different factions. But that's fine, you know. As I keep reminding myself, I'm not in a hurry. Well, it is too bad I had a poor harvest. That's unfortunate, but 1300 is still pretty good. And look at this, Lord Takeda. He's doing the job for me. He's sending an emissary in my direction. And yes, absolutely. Let's talk it over. Let's figure it out. Let's be friends again.
My lord, the Takeda daimyo has asked me to tell you that wise men need the counsel of men.
You know what? You don't even have to say anything else. The answer is always...
Good as compassion go with you.
You as well. Yes, thank you. Thank you. How are they doing? Better than the Hojo. Man, did the Hojo just have a rough time in the 1530 start? They just have Sagami. Is that all they start with? I mean, Sagami is relatively rich, but they're stuck. Like, Hojo is just stuck here between the Takeda and the Yasugi. Man, is that how it is for them? Well, in any case, let's go talk to Mr. Imagawa. Like, hey, sorry. Let's be friends again. Let's get that alliance going. Let's get that money going. And that's cool. I think I'm ready to attack now. I have 2 Shinobi hanging out in Heizen. And loyalties, 251%. If I leave Daimyo, that should be fine. And let's start bringing some Shinobi. I want to check out Io before I attack Bungo. I want to see what is here. This should be fine, hopefully. If anyone wants to counterattack my Daimyo's army here in Shikuzen, that should be okay. Like I said, I do expect this army to retreat. It's just going to be more of a matter of I just hope that Heizen remains cool. Stay cool, Heizen. Stay cool. Now that I have... So I think I'm just 2 turns away before the Sword Dojo is finished here in Satsuma. And it is tempting. At this point, this is still the only province where I can train soldiers. And since that my priority is probably going to be switching almost exclusively to Nodachi Samurai, it's probably time to start thinking about where am I going to train spearmen and archers and cavalry. But you know what? I'm not going to start considering building other dojos quite yet, because now is the time, I think, to start building ports. That's what I want to do. I want to spend my money on ports. So here in Osumi, this feels like a good time for me to do this. Start getting a port here. They're just so expensive, but they're just so worth it in the long run. And because Osumi can train a shinobi, it's going to be a good province, so I can send my shinobi places faster and further. So And then after that, I can, you know, work on Hyuga, Higo, Shikuzen, all that fun stuff. Hyzen luckily already has one. I should save some money to start building a castle here in Shikuzen. So let's just train a shinobi. I won't even train any soldiers this turn. Yeah, make sure that's not going through, and that's fine. So I'll just save my money so that I can for sure start building a castle here in Shikuzen, and potentially Buzen as well, seeing as how fast I might move here. As expected, the rebel general in Shikuzen did retreat. And no, the Imagawa have turned down my proposal for an alliance. Interesting. I wonder why. Are they at war with anyone? No, they're not at war with anyone. They're just bitter. They're just pissed. Oh man. All right. Well, I don't know if there's any harm in keep trying. Like, let's just keep trying. I don't know. Like, why would they not? It's money, you know? Don't they want money? All right, let's go check out EO. And how are things? So was there nothing in Buzen? Was it just the army that was in Shikuzen? Just retreated to Buzen and that's it? Oh, no. They retreated to Bungo. I got it. Okay. So what do they have here? They have 3 archers? No, not quite. This archer's pretty beat up. So this must be an archer from the fight in Shikugo, I'm assuming. So they do have a 1-star general, which is that unit of Ashigaru. Interesting. And they do have a unit of Yari Samurai as well. So altogether, essentially 2 archers, and then 2 Ashigaru, 1 Yari Samurai. So yeah, it's not nothing, but like I think I can take it. Let me just wait a turn. Let's see what's inside of EO before I make that move. I did save just enough money so that I can start building a castle here in Shikuzen. And then, yes, also Buzen. Well, let's see. Do I want... Yeah, let's not train a shinobi this turn. Just so that if I do decide to invade Buzen this year, I can just start building that castle right away. My sword dojo has been finished here in Satsuma. Unfortunately, I think I'm too poor to start training Odachi Samurai. Oh, hey, there we go. Just like that. You just have to keep trying, you know? Don't take no for an answer. So the Imagawa have accepted my offer in alliance. Perfect. And yeah, now we got that good. Look at that. Back to making $12.50 off of alliance income. Jesus. And somehow that's only equals out to a profit of $1,500. That doesn't feel... I don't think that's taken into account my new income. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. So what do we got here in EO? Not much. It's a 3-star Adrenal, which is good. But it's just that archer, that Ashigaru. Okay, well, I feel confident in going through with this attack. It's a pretty overwhelming attack on my part. It's, you know, like quite a few units. What do we have? It's 10, 11 units, or 16 units. Yeah, that's a full stack actually. Yeah, let's do it. I don't even know if they'll stay and fight, but we'll find out. And this is going to be my son's first chance to lead a battle, so we will see how he does. If anything bad happens, I'll blame it exclusively on him. It won't be my error at all. I can assure you of that. And I can't afford 1 Nodachi Samurai. That would be pretty fun. Yeah, let's just get him. Isn't that an awesome picture too? That's just a dope picture. Yep, let's do it. I was thinking about saving money for a potential castle here in Buzen, but how about I just not attack Buzen yet? You know, it's 1 more turn before the castle's finished here in Shikuzen, then it will be autumn, and then I can attack in winter, perhaps, when I'll have a new set of, you know, a new treasury in place. And this is not looking like it's going to be a battle either, you know, frankly. So it's just going to be a question of whether or not the rebels decide to fight me here in Bungo. And I can actually start bringing back my emissary because there's nothing left for him to do in the north. Now I just need people to help me spy on these regions. I also can kind of want to leave you here for just a moment. Although I also do want shinobis in Shikuzen. Eventually, we will get there. In the meantime, let's attack Bungo. The castle has now been finished here in Shikuzen. And anything... Yes, they did retreat. They retreated from Bungo. Okay. So I did destroy a building. And this is going to take 2 turns to siege out. Gosh, It looks like there's no buildings here besides the castle. It's just the castle. And there's 200 men inside of it. So it is my understanding that I do have a greater chance of saving this castle if I do assault the castle. That would save me 2 turns and 250 koku, but that also would damage these units. Unlike medieval Total War, armies and units do not take attrition when they are the besieger. So in this case, these armies have nothing to lose. They will not lose any men from attrition. It is a good thing that they added in medieval because it does make that decision a little less clear, you know, when you know that you're going to be losing hundreds of men, you know, really can be a decent chunk of guys over the course of a longer siege. When you know that that's going to be the case, you know, sometimes it makes it a little bit harder to make that choice. And in this game, it really does come down to a matter of how much in a hurry are you? You know, can you wait those 2 turns to siege this out? But also the question of, you know, how much do you want to save those buildings? And are you willing to trade men's lives to get inside or, you know, to get those buildings? And considering that, you know, how costly would it be? Again, to compare to both games, medieval has the structures themselves actually shooting arrows out at you as if there were invisible, like, archers manning the walls, which, you know, makes sense. That's, you know, there would be people manning the walls in these fights. In this game, that's not the case. You're just inside of a box, and the units that are inside of that box can either shoot out at you if they have missile weapons, or stand there and wait to die if they don't. And it becomes a little less of a deadly thing for the attacker. You know, like, if there's nothing inside of that castle that can shoot you, and then you have archers, well, gosh, you know, you may as well walk up to it and just shoot them full of arrows. And in this case, what kind of castle? Is this really only a small castle? I didn't think they could fit this much men inside of it. What do I know? Clearly I'm wrong. Is it 240? Is that what it is? 4 units. Garrison of 4 units. Okay, so it's not a full 4 units. Okay, I got it. Just because I have a million archers in these armies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then like also my cav archer unit. Why not? Let's do it. Full stack, just a bunch of archers. We'll just, you know, show you a little something here. If you haven't seen a siege battle, or, you know, for a small castle that is. And just get it done. Hopefully we'll save that castle, make this worth the lives of my men that will be dying to archers. And we might not even have to go into a melee combat. We might just be able to shoot everyone in that castle full of arrows. Here we are looking at 960 of my guys versus 201 of theirs. Let's check it out. It really isn't much, is it? Just a little bit of a box with an open gate. Not even a gate, just an open walkway. You can just walk right on in. Or you can just let your arrows walk right on in. I will be leaving my Ashigaru at the bottom of this hill outside of arrow range. I will be keeping my general sort of in this region to supervise things, and then I'll be sending up my archers, all of them in loose formation, so that they can get into positions. Some of them will be in front so they can shoot right in through the gate, and some of them will be on either side of the castle so that they can shoot over the walls and into this tightly compacted group of soldiers. Already the Ashigaru in the front are taking tremendous casualties. They are wearing very little armor. In fact, I don't know if they're wearing any armor. And now I can have my archers that are positioned onto the flanks here to start firing on into the archers that are taking some like fire, because yeah, when units miss shooting at a unit and then that arrow continues to travel, yeah, it can totally hit the unit that's not aiming for. That is something that is modeled. Every single arrow in this game is modeled individually, so it's a neat little thing. Let's have this unit turn and face this small little 7-man Ashigaru unit that's kind of trying to get a little flank into us. So let's just try to shoot them down before they get near us. And let's make sure that you're shooting into these archers as well. And yeah, we're doing, as I mentioned, a tremendous amount of damage. Essentially, my only archer unit that has taken any damage at all is going to be this front-facing unit right here. They're getting a little bit beat up, but overall, this is highly, highly in my favor. The defenders in this castle are looking very, very beleaguered at this point. There's only 4 men left in this archer unit. The general himself has been barely touched, so I suppose at this point we can switch some of our fire over to the general's unit. How are you doing? Can you reach the general's unit? Yes, you can. Get some fire on in there. And yeah, we might be able to get this entire thing done with just our archers. The general is now out of arrows and he has marched to the front of his castle, his front of his fort, to defend it with his life, and all he can really do is stand there and take it. He stands not quite alone. He has his little lieutenant with him, and they are facing what's left of my arrows as well. We're getting a little bit low ourselves, but yeah, we'll see if we can. There he goes. That's the general, and now all that's left is a standard bearer of his unit, and we will see if my archers can mow him down. I mean, otherwise we might run out of arrows in the meantime. And down he goes. We were able to finish the battle using just our archers. And I feel like, yeah, we lost 29 men, and that doesn't feel too bad. You know, that feels okay. Let's see if we are able to keep the fort. That's gonna determine whether this was worth it or not, right? We had a good harvest. All right, we're making, all right, sweet. 2,900. That feels pretty gosh darn good. And we did keep the fort. So 29 lives for a fort. I would say that's worth it. Don't tell the families of the men that just died that I said that, but I think that, I think I can live with that one. So let's bring up my second unit of Odachi Samurai, and then you can join the daimyo here. Let's send my emissary. He can start scouting out ahead. I'd like to have more information, more advanced information of what I'm walking on into, but I think that for now, I'm going to be fine enough to just attack Buzen. Again, I would expect them to retreat into Nagato. I would not expect them to hang out here. Let's send a shinobi to Shikuzen just to make sure that this remains happy. If my math is correct, and spoiler alert, it never is, but I should be able to afford, with my newfound riches, 2 ports. So I'll start building one here in Hyugo, and then one here in Higo. And then over the course of these, 4 turns for this year, I can get 4 Nodachi Samurai, 1 more Shinobi, and then let's start building an improved farmland here in Chikugo. Out of all of the provinces here in Kyushu, the only 3 that are worth ever putting any farm upgrades into is going to be Shikugo, Hizen, and Chikuzen. Hizen being the most profitable. It already starts out at 420 before the upgrade, making 489 with the upgrade. It's probably even worth putting another upgrade into it at some point. As far as these 2 provinces, I don't know if I'm going to go higher than a 20% upgrade for them, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. And it's nice that it's cheap. It just costs 250 for the first upgrade. So I'll be doing that, and that's probably going to be all that I have money for. Ooh, do I have money for a castle in Buzen? I don't know. Maybe cancel this shinobi. And yeah, that'll be fine. My port is now finished here in Osumi, and that's going to give me a nice little sweet 200 Koku boost to my economy. Let's see, Rebel General has retreated from Buzen, again, to be expected. So Buzen is now mine, and yeah, let's put a castle in here. And oh, look at this. We found ourselves a challenger, a 4-star Rebel General. Oh, are they going to counterattack? Would they counterattack? Oh, I want to know what they have. Maybe I should have scouted first before taking Buzen. Huh. This is kind of a beat up army that I have here with my daimyo. And it looks to be outnumbered as well. I don't know if I should... Let's see. So I have 4 archers. I have just the 3 beat up spearmen. Yeah, let's bring some units up just to like help out in case they counterattack. So that's that and that. So 4. Yeah, let's give them some archers. Start with just... Yeah, let's give them 3 units of archers. And maybe even 3 units of Ashigaru. Just to give them some oomph there. And yeah, there's no way they're going to attack from EO. Like, that's totally going to be secure for a while. But that's going to give me a nice little boost there, so he can make his decisions wisely here. Yeah, Buzen. I'm trying to remember what it's like to defend Buzen. I think I recognize this province. Man, it's funny, you know, when you play provinces so many times, like, it's kind of like playing those side scrollers, those old side scrollers where you kind of just memorize the levels. And that's one thing I really love about playing this game, is that you just kind of really get an intimate knowledge of these maps and you really know how to play them. And it's something that I don't know if that's ever going to happen in Medieval, just because there seems to be a certain variety of maps for each province, and there's already so many provinces that I don't know. And also, they're just, you know, like, isn't a huge amount of fighting in Medieval, because you can typically use your economy to launch an offensive that's so overwhelming that your enemy has no choice to retreat. And then what will tend to happen in my experience is that you might face a counterattack from their combined forces. But a lot of times when I launch offensives in Medieval, they're overwhelming. So the enemy just, you know, retreats because they can't face off against what I bring to the table. Because when I attack in Medieval, I'm not just bringing, you know, like my fighting stack. I'm bringing a fighting stack, and I'm also bringing a reserve stack. And then I'm typically also bringing a siege stack. A stack just for sieging, you know, basically my artillery train. And it's not even like intentionally designed to just make the enemy retreat. It's just, I just feel like that's the bare minimum. I feel like you should attack with 3 stacks once you reach a certain stage in the game, of course. Not in the beginning, but at a certain stage, I feel like you should be attacking with 3 stacks in Medieval. In Shogun, it's a lot more just kind of like, you know, whatever you got, you know, kind of build up to 1 stack. And if you think you can win the battle, just keep attacking. And I feel like you get more battles that way, which is great. And yeah, or maybe, you know, maybe I'm just not playing aggressive enough in Medieval, which is also very true. I've been urged to play more aggressively by viewers, and I get it. It's fun, but I also think that the fun in Medieval is the uniqueness of how big that campaign plays and how epic the moments can be. You know, the highs are a lot higher in Medieval and the lows are a lot lower. Whereas in Shogun, it's more of a consistent, you know, boom, 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 action, action, action. Very much like the Vikings Invasion campaign, where you just kind of, the build-up period's a lot shorter, and the, you know, the campaigns are, it's hard to say. I want to say they're like less epic, but I guess kind of, you know, in the sense that Medieval combines, you know, naval warfare and A lot more different types of agents can be used as well to sway certain conflicts. There is obvious similarities with Shogun, but you could use religious warfare in the form of jihads and crusades in medieval. So anyway, yeah, that was a little bit of a tangent there for you. Yeah, there always has to be one of those in these videos of mine. I think that we're probably ready to go here, though. I already have my financial plans set out for this year. Okay, so the rebels did not attack. Okay, well, let's go spy on them then. If they're not going to attack me, well, let's attack them. Yes, but before I do that, let's see what they have first. And yes, one turn away before this castle's finished here in Buzen. I would like to have Nagato, because Nagato is going to be the closest province to me that does have the Iron Sands deposits. And this is going to allow me to build an armory, which allows me to give armor upgrades to my units. And again, for those of you who are, maybe coming from medieval Total War, maybe you're not familiar with Shogun, it's the complete opposite in medieval as it is in Shogun. So in medieval, you do need those Iron Sands deposits. It's called something else. It's just iron. Yeah, it's just iron deposits, right? And you need those to build metalsmiths so that you can improve your attack stats. But in this game, you don't need that. You can just get a swordsmith for nothing. You don't need anything. You can just build a swordsmith, 4 turns, 600 florins or koku, and that improves your attack. And yeah, in this game, you need those armories from the Iron Sands deposits. And then from there, you're allowed to build or train certain units like Naginata infantry and heavy cavalry. Both require an armory present in that province first. And the thing with southern Honshu, this entire region, which typically is the Mori starting region or starting area when he plays the Mori clan in the Sengoku Jidai campaign, most of these provinces come with Iron Sands deposits. It's kind of ridiculous. The Mori campaign is a joke. It's a big middle finger to you if you want to play as them, because they are the poorest faction in the game. They are even poorer than the Shimazu clan. And if you think you can afford a single armory at that stage in the campaign, you are out of you can't do it. It's like you have all of these riches at your disposal, but you can't actually access them. You're just too poor to even build an armory. Same thing with your quote unquote bonus of having a discount to warrior monks. You might think, oh sweet, a discount to the best unit in the game. Yeah, you can't afford them. So you're just going to be playing with Ashigaru and archers just like me, playing as the Shimazu, except my specialty unit, I'm paying $225 for this thing. That's so cheap. That's 25 koku more than a spearman, a Yari samurai. Your discounted warrior monks when you're playing as the Mori, it's still like, is it, god damn it, is it like 4? Is it 425? Yeah, it's ridiculous. And that's not even including the cost of building up to that, It's just too expensive. It's just a joke. The Mori campaign is just like teasing you with your brain just thinks like, oh sweet, armored warrior monks, that'd be amazing. Triple gold plated warrior monks, that'd be the best unit in the game. Yeah, you're not getting that until like way later in the campaign. And also, yeah, if you want to make friends with the Portuguese and to have this amazing, awesome economy, well, once you convert to Christianity, you can't build any more Buddhist temples after that. So all of the Buddhist temples that you want built in that campaign better be built before you convert to Christianity, and just, to make that money off of your trade with the Portuguese. It's just the whole campaign is a big old tease. It is at this point in the campaign where I think it's probably a good time for me to start combining or merging some of my units so that they can, retain their combined valor or honor. And I can start sending these units back to Satsuma to get them retrained. Gosh, it still feels kind of like a waste. Maybe or maybe not. Once I find out what this army is here in Nagato, maybe I just go for it. Take Nagato. Because it has the Iron Sands deposits, this is what I want to be my next training grounds. That's, not Satsuma. And that way I can start training armored soldiers, armored spearmen, armored archers, armored cavalry, whatever, you know? And that maybe might be what I want to do. Because what's the point in all of that work? You know, what's the point in all of this merging of units and send them, you know, the long way? Because I don't have all these ports built yet. So I have to send them province by province back to Satsuma, get them retrained. This whole time, I'm not retraining I'm not training Nodachi Samurai because I'm retraining spears and archers. No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's get a province that I can train soldiers at. Taking Nagato is also a good grab just because it keeps my borders on this this area to just be one province. And then from there, it extends on to a 2-province border. So it would only take one army to defend this front, as it were. Well, it looks like I have the richest clan in all of Japan. Well, that's pretty good news. Okay, and then this happens. So who's fighting the Oda clan? Is it going to be... So the Imagawa are fighting the Oda. Is that... Interesting. I think I actually do want to side with the Imagawa in this case, just because if I'm going based on the proximity to my path of advancement, it's going to be going through central Japan before I reach northern Japan. And the Oda just happened to be right before the Imagawa clan, so I think I should probably choose to remain allied to the Imagawa clan. So yeah, let's click yes. And what do we got here? What's this army composed of? Okay, all right. It's not, you know, nothing like crazy, but, you know, the fact that it's not all Ashigaru. So there's going to be 1 unit of Yari Samurai. That's going to be its 1 professional spearman unit. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of archers, most of them pretty healthy. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Ashigaru. And that, with the 4-star general as well, makes this a pretty meaty army. I mean, again, nothing super threatening, but they will fight rather well, considering their 4-star general. So that's not to be taken lightly. That's a situation where I'm going to want... It's tempting to actually kind of go back to my original plan and build up the correct stack for this. You know, like having a few Nodachi Samurai, that's fine and good. But let's retrain these cavalry, let's retrain these spearmen, these archers. Yeah. Yeah, let's oh gosh, man. At least the horses. These horses are beat up. This one unit's beat up. This one unit's fine. This other unit's pretty beat up. Maybe I'm just being too much of a chicken. Yeah, I suppose I am. Now that yeah. Let's just go for it, I think. Something else that I was just looking at is the fact that the Takeda clan actually have taken a few of these provinces. They've taken up to Seoul, and I think they also have Awami as well, as looking at the throne room map, so I'm privy to that information, and that makes me think, I mean, they have the emissary obviously spying on this province as well, as, you know, trying to decide if they can take this province, and that explains why some of these units are a little bit banged up. They must be survivors from previous battles against the Takeda clan, and this makes me want to take Nagato before they take Nagato. It's a little bit risky because it can put me into conflict with the Takeda clan a little bit earlier. Not so much that I'm worried about them or like losing my alliance money with them or anything like that. It has more to do with the fact that at this point, my supply lines, my reserves, any units that I have would be coming from Satsuma. And obviously, as I've mentioned before, I would like to get that more units being trained up here in Nagato. That would take 4 turns, 2 to build the castle, 2 to build the spear dojo, and then that 5th turn I can start training more units. to replace whatever I've lost and to retrain the units that I've lost in this battle that's going to be coming up here. So hopefully, hopefully the losses that I take, I do want to, I want to do this. So yeah, taxes are high. Hopefully, hopefully Buzin's going to be okay when it comes to its population loyalty. Let's move my shinobi over from EO. I don't need it there anymore. So let's do this and let's do that. So I have a shinobi hanging out in Buzin, and Shikuzen's going to be fine. Unlike medieval Total War, where medieval means less than 100% loyalty, in this one it just means less than 120% loyalty. So yellow is still okay in this game. This is 120%, 127. Alright, so I'm going to build one more Nodachi Samurai here. That's fine. And yeah, hopefully the loyalty in Buzin holds. In fact, to make sure that it does, let's just bring a couple more units of Ashigaru to Buzin just to help keep the people there happy. And yeah, let's go and take Nagato. My improved farmland has now been finished here in Chikugo. And okay. Interesting. The Takeda are joining me in this battle. Now we are allies. Okay. The Takeda is also bringing a 3-star general in as well. They're not bringing a lot of forces. They just have 3 units. And yeah, we are allies, aren't we? Well, I don't intend on betraying them in the same way that I did with the Imagawa. I feel like that was a very unique situation that required a little bit of deviousness, just because they kind of, in a sense, had an advantage with their archers being way better than any soldiers that I was really using. You know, like they were just so good. And I felt like betraying them was necessary. In this case, I'm kind of inclined to just let us be friends for now. You know, I don't need to be at war with the Takeda clan yet, because I can just build up in Nagato. That would be fine for me. So yeah, let's just command this attack and have some fun here. Well, we have ourselves some nice weather here. I wanted to fight in nice weather just because I do have a lot of archers, and it looks like, okay, the Takeda just brought 3 units of archers. So I'm glad that I decided to fight in fine weather. So let's see. Let's bring up, they have a few. Yeah, let's just get my guys grouped up. We'll probably be just going around the right side, get ourselves on somewhat level ground so that we do not have to fight them on a slope. And then we will see their reaction from there and see if they want to meet us. They do have some forces hiding in the forest as well. Now that we find ourselves on even ground with the enemy, and the Takeda themselves showing some pretty sound tactical acumen, you know, which represents that they want to just attack right up the hill into the enemy forces themselves, and that is totally fine with me. In fact, in a way, they will be going on into the flank of the enemy. Let's actually bring up my forces with my archers, screening my infantry, because we might find ourselves in a little bit of an archery duel. And I don't know if they would want to charge on into us, because I don't know, I just feel like my Nodachi Samurai, I only have that 1 unit of them, but they should be sufficient in scaring off their, I mean, their Ashigaru really should not want to charge me. Looks like they are bringing their archers forward to kind of screen off the Takeda forces, but they should be able to push them back in time. It looks like they are starting to concentrate more of their forces into the Takeda clan. Now they're sending some Ashigaru, 2 units of them, actually 3 units of them, so right on into the archers. These archers can take on Ashigaru, okay? That is for goddamn sure. It looks like they remembered that. They remembered that they are samurai. And now let's just bring up my archers, because they can start to shoot into the enemy here. Let's just bring you up here and make sure we can just flank all the way around. Let's see, archers. So in that case, if we just have archers, bring cav around to get a flanking in. And Nodachi Samurai, where do I want you guys? Maybe I'll bring my Nodachi Samurai over here on this side. Looks like my general is fleeing, so the Takeda did get broken. And let's see here. You guys can switch out so that the spears can go in front of the Ashigaru, and that's perfect timing on... Wait, my guys are running away? What the hell? Must be taking a lot of arrow fire, I suppose. That's interesting. Well, my guys are still getting into position here, and let's see, that's all the archers. It's still a little bit risky just to go all in with my cav, just because cavalry can get broken. Man, their guys are... I feel like they're fighting harder than I expected. Let's get in here and break these Ashigaru. Let's see, Ashigaru. And let's see here. I feel like... do they have more archers than I counted? Because I feel like I'm taking a lot of damage from them. Alright, let's unleash my cav at this point. You go here, and then you go here attacking. Yeah, just go in there. Daimyo, you go in as well. Let's send in my infantry on this side to help out. Let's see, you guys go... Oops, I did not get my guys switched out in time. So you goes here and here. And, oh, I forgot about my Nodachi Samurai. Yeah, they could be making a difference here. So let's fight up against these archers. Start running, please. So we are chasing off these archers on this side. And let's see, you archers move up here. And you go as well. You can run, please. Yep, there you go. And there we go. Those archers are running away. And let's chase them down here. Make sure that they don't get away. In fact, I don't know if they have a castle to run away to. I'm not sure about that. So yeah, you guys can get some shots in on these archers here. So their general, where does he want to go? Need to kind of keep eyes on him. If he separates himself from these... Yeah, let's go. Let's go get him. And let's try to separate him from these spears by bringing up units here, 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 and then here. And just make sure that I'm going in with spears first. Nodachi Samurai, I want you fighting the Yari Samurai. In fact, let's get up you right like there. Yeah, and if we can chase off, I mean, right now this general's running away. Killing him would be a really good thing for us. Let's see, archers charging my archers. That's not great. So let's get in here. And yeah, my cav can chase them down. My general can go here. And yeah, let's go. Yeah, Yari cav are being chased by their spears. That's not ideal, but now I'm going to get into the rear of them, hopefully, with my own spearmen and potentially my own Nodachi Samurai as well. Now my Yari cav are going to get caught with it by their Ashigaru as well, so let's get them out of here. Let's get them out of here, please, please, please. Go, 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 go. Don't get caught, please, by the spear sandwich. Come on, get away. Get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. Get away. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You can get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Okay, man, it's so hard to get units, so hard to get cav units out of these engagements. Alright, spears. Let's go down here, and yeah. If I can get my Nodachi Samurai into that unit of spears, we have another unit of Ashigaru coming back, so let's get my Ashigaru in front of them. And this could be a good fight for my Nodachi Samurai, but I have too many units kind of hanging out over here, so let's get them marching in this direction. As my army starts to move into position to support this fight here, my Nodachi Samurai are getting chewed up, but they are occupying the attention of like 3 units right here. So let's get a side charge in here with my Ashigaru. And that should work out well for us. The general's coming back, and yeah, these Ashigaru, come on, get in there. Help out my Nodachi Samurai, that'd be wonderful. And let's see, Yari Samurai, or not Yari Samurai, Yari Cav, where do I want you to go? Let's just start chasing them down at this point. I feel like, yeah, you go chase down that general. You can chase down that general as well. Don't let him get away. And then on this side, let's get rid of this one Ashigaru here. And let's get my daimyo involved as well, because I think we just have to break this, and this is going to be it. This general will be run down by my 2 remaining units of Yari Cav. I'm glad to have them here. And then we just have to get rid of this Ashigaru. There's only 17 men left. And hopefully they break as soon as my... Yeah, let's get my daimyo after them. And hopefully they break right away, because if they turn around and fight me for even a moment, I can lose a lot of horses here. My daimyo is going to be leading the charge against this last unit of Ashigaru, and I can't believe they're fighting. Oh, they're not fighting. They're running away. Yep, that's going to be it for them. They're going to get run down, and that's going to be it for this rebel army here in Nagato. And that's a decent little scrap. I mean, I don't know if I miscounted their archers or what, but I feel like I was taking a lot of arrow fire there. But you know what? Now I will be able to build some armories and get some armored soldiers going so that I will take less casualties from arrow fire. And yeah, so I did lose 273 men. That's not nothing, but the Takeda forces got fairly decimated as well, if not completely wiped out. And yeah, so Yari Samurai, this unit gained at least 1 point of honor. This Yari Cav gained a point of honor. The Samurai Archers, and then these Yari Cav gained some honor as well. All right. Yeah, looks pretty good. Nagata is now mine, and there was no... Yes, now my daimyo is a 4th rank general. Wonderful. Poor harvest, so yeah, making 1800. That's unfortunate. And Buzin's okay. 119 is okay. 119 on the loyalty is totally fine. Nagato, yes. All right. It's not rich, but at least it has iron sands deposits, and I can start building a castle right away. And ooh, this is Takeda Shingen. Oh yes, this is one of the. I mean, all of the family members in this game are historical, but there's only 3 heirs in this game that start off as 6-star generals, and Takeda Shingen is one of them. The other 2 being Yusuke Kenshin and why am I drawing a blank? Tokugawa Ieyasu. Yeah, Oda Nobunaga is not a 6-star general in this game. He starts out at 5, which is kind of strange, but you know, whatever, I guess. Oh, same with Toyotomi Hideyoshi. He is also only a 5-star general, which again, like, it's like, what? Really? The guy that, like, finished reuniting Japan, like, Tokugawa Ieyasu, like, I guess he's good and all, but, I mean, and he is, like, Tokugawa Ieyasu is definitely a shrewd tactician and politician, but, you know, like, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, like, really? That dude, he's only 5 stars? Like, don't get me wrong, I think Oda Nobunaga got a little bit lucky here and there, but maybe 5 stars is accurate for him. But yeah, in any case, yeah, that's a discussion for another time. This is one of them, Takeda Shingen. That would be a terrifying thing, the Tokugawa Shingen. But this is one of those fantastic historical figures of this time period. Many folks consider him the greatest general of the Sengoku Jidai. Unfortunately, the Takeda never became super important players in the fight for the shogunate. They got a little bit shut out in the north, and when he himself finally decided to make his move, he died sort of prematurely, you could say. You know, I think he got sniped by a gunner during a siege, and that was like it. You know, like that was. You know, he was their guy. He was the Takeda's guy. Not to say that they didn't have capable leadership. They had a wonderful set of lieutenants and generals that could lead the forces after him. But then, of course, they were defeated in the climactic battle of Nagashino, was it? I always get Nagashino mixed up with the other battle that the Oda clan fought against the Iko-Iki monks, I believe in Issa. And they both sound so similar to me. Nagashino, and then it's Naga something. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't remember, but I always get those 2 names mixed up. But I'm pretty sure Nagashino is the really famous one between the Takeda and the Oda clan. And yeah, that was, you know, his son had a tall task ahead of him, and a lot of people blame him for, you know, ending the Takeda dynasty essentially. And, you know, maybe some of that blame should fall on his shoulders. He did have a lot of generals telling him to not attack that day, and then he had some hot-headed generals saying, yeah, no, we should definitely attack on this day, and they attacked, and again and again and again into, you know, a hail of gunfire, and it didn't work out too well for them. But in any case, that's all for another time to talk about. Here we finally have Nagato. We can start retraining these battered units that I have here. These archers, these spearmen. Once I get Nagato, god damn it, Nagato up to the point where I probably will just do spearmen, like a spear dojo a bow dojo and a horse dojo. Typically, it's not the best idea just to do all of that in one province. You typically want to specialize a little bit. But considering that I don't really intend on attacking the Takeda clan until I have my forces pretty well set up, I probably will just do all of that refitting of soldiers up here in Nagato before I move on to attack. And I probably will also take the island of Shikoku before I move against the Takeda clan. But you know what? That's going to be it for this episode. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Conostep playing Shogun Total War, and it's good to be back. So thank you very much, and goodbye.